In 18 years as a professional pugilist, he's captured multiple world titles across 4 weight classes and unified an entire division.
He knocked him out cold. How about Canelo Alvarez?
Mixing with some of the most recognisable names in boxing, Mayweather, Golovkin, Cotto, Mosley and more. Behind the glorious achievements and glowing resume lies a steely resolve.
Canelo Alvarez!
The coronation is complete! All hail King Canelo! Viva Mexico's first undisputed champion! Viva Mexico, cabrones!
It's a story that still has many twists and turns left to play out.
The boxing world, Canelo Alvarez, has been asking you to go in the ring against David Benavidez.
We ask, who is Saul Canelo Alvarez? Born in Guadalajara, the youngest of 8 siblings, Canelo's older brothers spoke of an intense ferocity from the very beginning. 3 of his brothers also punched for pay, but from an early age Canelo showed immediate traits that suggested he would become the best of the bunch. Sporting remarkable flame red hair, Little Cinnamon was destined to be noticed from the start. A unique look for a unique talent. Even before he took any formal training, young Canelo was already pounding the heavy bags with a spite and accuracy that suggested he hadn't chosen boxing, but rather boxing had chosen him. Claiming a silver medal in the 2004 Junior Mexican Championships, the following year he upped it to gold. In a move driven by economic necessity as well as desire, the rising puncher turned pro aged just 15. Already seeking out the biggest challenges available, it was time for the youthful stylist to step up and mix with the men. Many Mexican legends have overcome hardships, having been born in the grind of poverty, hustling from a young age. Canelo's father instilled a strong work ethic and sense of responsibility in his offspring. Alvarez's maternal grandmother also had a strong influence on his life. These same qualities stayed with the young boxer, who remembered his roots through the early labours of his career. Aged just 17, Canelo battled to provide the basic necessities for his newly born daughter. Toiling along on the domestic club circuit, life in and out of the ring was tough. However, Canelo did not view this as a struggle, as he'd not known any other way. But as his skills improved and opportunities began to present, the chance to enhance his fortunes was right around the corner. From the embryonic stages of his career right up until the present day, Canelo has trusted Chepo and Eddy Reynoso to guide him to the summit. This dynamic father and son duo were in the corner whenever he first ditched the amateur vest. They were there to guide and instruct the young lion when he was badly buzzed by Jose Miguel Cotto in 2010. They shared his first world title victory over Matthew Hatton in 2011. Becoming increasingly noticed by a stateside audience, HBO was also keeping tabs on the potential of a man now guided and promoted by their former pay-per-view golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. In boxing, the old saying reminds us that setbacks only pave the way for comebacks. After repelling the challenges of quality fighters such as Sugar Shane Mosley and Austin Trout, Canelo finally came unstuck against one of the greatest ever to lace up a pair of gloves. September 2013 in the MGM Grand Las Vegas, Floyd Money Mayweather picked out a green, unrefined version of the Mexican gemstone and handed him a crash course in pugilistic education.
Me paro en medio del ring para poder cambiar ritmos o a ver si de alguna manera podía conectar mis golpes y estaba desesperado, tratando de conectar golpes, de agarrarlo con un solo golpe.
When you're a star in the making like Canelo Alvarez, you just don't fight Floyd Mayweather at that age. Why would you do that?
One of Canelo's lasting philosophies is that you learn through life.
Que no pasa nada si te duele o algo, no pasa nada si lloras, ¿ok? Muchas veces tienes que sacarlo llorando, ¿ok? No pasa nada que llores.
The 23-year-old certainly learned from his defeat at the hands of the master. He set about emulating the Michigan maestro by sharpening his tools in a bid to replace an aging Floyd as boxing's premier superstar. This career realignment after the Mayweather humbling swiftly gathered pace as Canelo embarked on a 7-fight streak that included devastating demolitions of James Kirkland and Amir Khan, alongside patient displays of tactical acumen against Erislandy Lara and Miguel Cotto. By now flirting with the middleweight division, used to standing up to the schoolyard bullies who mocked his conspicuous freckles and unusual appearance, the Mexican would need to stand tall to take on his next sizable challenge.
On September 16, HBO pay-per-view will take you live to Las Vegas for the long-awaited showdown between already legendary knockout artist Genadiy Golovkin of Kazakhstan and consummate boxer-puncher Canelo Alvarez of Mexico.
Kazakh destroyer Genadiy Golovkin had built himself into one of the sport's unlikeliest of attractions. A cartoonish persona presented in charming broken English mixed with a thudding ability to annihilate foes, GGG had made his mark. In September 2017, live on HBO, Canelo discovered a formula for success, boxing to a draw in a contest many believed he would decisively lose.
A draw! The only thing we didn't want was a draw.
Displaying a cast-iron chin in the first fight, Canelo made reasonable adjustments in their rematch almost a year later to the day.
Alvarez won the last round, but did he do enough?
Your winner by majority decision and new WBC, WBO, IBO Ring Magazine middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo.
The home fighter takes it. Frankly, though, I find that very, very surprising. Alvarez gets his moment.
Following the Reynoso strategy to a T, victory was secured over his rival. Canelo later tidied up the trilogy with a lopsided points win over Golovkin to assert his overall dominance. A much-needed win for the Jalisco box puncher, whose unmatched run of success had suffered an unexpectedly shattering blow. In early 2022, potential clashes with the likes of Lunga Makabu at cruiserweight were being thrown around in an attempt to find a worthy challenge for the seemingly all-conquering Canelo. This weight jump didn't appear as far-fetched as first perceived, given the fact that the majestic Mexican had stepped up to light heavyweight in 2019 to comprehensively KO one-time Russian beast Sergey Kovalev.
Here it is. Kovalev's hurt. Kovalev's down. Kovalev's out. It's over. That fast. There's fifth gear. Canelo is the light heavyweight champion of the world.
Slimming back down to 168 pounds, Canelo swept past British duo Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders before unifying the entire super middleweight division. Confident IBF champion Caleb Plant summoned the wrath of the three-belt king with a pre-fight slap and scathing reference to Canelo's drug test failure.
This is a dangerous enough sport for people to be popping positive for things, and there's no room for that in our sport. You know, cheating, that's not, people don't cheat out of confidence, people cheat out of fear.
Will we see a Canelo coronation? Or will Caleb Sweet Hands Plant enjoy the sweetest victory by planting his flag atop the super middleweight division's summit? Canelo said, and I quote, "I hope he has a good chin because he's going to need it."
Caleb Plant of a couple of years ago would not set down on these punches like he's doing now.
And now here's Plant and Canelo going at it.
And Plant is not the same. Oh, he just got hurt.
Canelo dutifully crushed him in the ring to acquire the remaining piece of the jigsaw puzzle and close the chapter on a super middleweight run that had started 3 years earlier. December 2018. To the outside observer, Canelo was busy preparing for his 168-pound debut against UK puncher Rocky Fielding in New York. Behind the scenes, the unified middleweight king was engaged in a personal battle to free his brother from the hands of ruthless kidnappers. A terrifying ordeal for anyone. For the family-oriented Canelo, it took all of his resolve to fulfill his fight week media obligations and stay focused on Fielding, all the while negotiating behind the scenes for his brother's safe return.
En el teléfono yo negocié negocié todo para que lo soltaran. 3 días negocié con los para que lo soltaran. 3 días.
Faced with such adversity, lesser men may have crumbled. Canelo brought his brother home and proceeded to dispatch fielding in 3 rounds.
That was a headshot down the body, and that should do it.
This is why talk of weight jumps are not so far-fetched for a man used to delivering superhuman efforts. While the Makabu fight may have been a bridge too far, clashes with the likes of PBC pair Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez remained appetising prospects. Instead, choosing the DAZN route, Canelo was pitched with Dimitri Bivol back up at 175 pounds.
This is an outstanding champion that is in his absolute prime, ready for the opportunity of his life against the pound-for-pound king of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
The quietly confident Bivol appeared to be a more beatable proposition than his Russian counterpart Artur Beterbiev. Perfectly adapting his tall, awkward style, meshed with a solid work rate and strong fundamentals, Bivol was too slick for a man who once campaigned at super lightweight.
Canelo Alvarez was a big favorite in the biggest fight of the year, but Bivol showed up and may have just beaten the pound-for-pound king.
Just like when he lost to Mayweather, Canelo was forced to reassess the upset, reconsider his apparent new interest in a vegan diet, and take stock of all future plans. Holding much admiration for his parents, Canelo often explains that despite the early struggles, his father always made sure they had enough to eat. 8 children, all very close in age, were cared for by his mother. Defeat looms large for every fighter, and yet his principles of hard work and integrity never wavered. Once again, Saul vowed to return stronger. Away from the ring, Canelo remains guarded about his personal life. An understated character with brooding menace and calculating confidence, the Mexican often shuns the limelight, abstaining from the kinds of controversies that have plagued so many of boxing's legends. His rise has not been without moments of contention. In 2018, the boxing world was rocked when the Latino icon tested positive for the banned substance clenbuterol. Served with a meagre 6-month suspension, Canelo rode out the controversy by claiming that tainted Mexican meat was to blame. Embarking on another rebuilding process, post-Bivol, closing his trilogy with Golovkin was the first inscription of a final chapter. Set to the backdrop of the colours and sounds of Cinco de Mayo, a 2023 Guadalajara homecoming ticked all the right boxes. UK warrior John Ryder refused to read the script and took Canelo the distance. Super welterweight king Jermall Charlo may have offered the 4-belt gravitas of an undisputed versus undisputed clash, but weight classes are there for a reason. It soon became apparent that Charlo belonged at 154 as the Texan skirted away from danger to concede widely.
This Canelo, nobody can beat this Canelo.
As the Mexican monster David Benavidez lurks in the shadows, one more run of legacy-enhancing encounters is underway.
Canelo told reporters that Benavidez, quote, brings nothing to the table, end quote, and added he'd basically only consider the idea if offered $150 million to $200 million.
If that sentence of him saying, I wouldn't fight him, but if you give me this much money, I'll fight him, if that's not saying that's an outright duck, I don't know what is. I mean, he basically admitted to you he's ducking him, but, you know, if you pay me enough money, I'll let him run me over like a train, that he probably will.
I fight anybody, but look, he's accomplished, nothing.
Another dangerous compatriot, Jaime Munguia, has been steadily building his brand and reputation. Exciting, frenetic, with power in both fists. On May the 4th, Alvarez will have his hands full against a young man bursting with the same enthusiasm Canelo carried throughout his early career.
La verdad es que me agrada eso, ¿no? Al final de cuentas, siempre ganar por nocaut es muy bonito. Y yo creo que antes del 8 voy a terminar por nocaut.
Now surrounded by luxurious items, the result of his ability to win numerous belts and capture the imagination and cash flow of a rampant fan base. A keen horse rider, the reputation of this distinctive Vago, forged from the unforgiving streets of Guadalajara, is all cemented in the foundation of strong family values and a strive for greatness. This is the bedrock of who Saul Canelo Alvarez really is.